Nice. Munda, congratulations. Good morning. Hello. எப்படி இருக்க? எப்படி இருக்கேன்னு கேட்டேன். நம்ம மெம்பர்ஷிப் எவ்வளவு பேர் இருக்காங்க? எவ்வளவு பேர் ரிட்டையர்ஸ் நம்ம ஆபீஸ்ல? நம்ம மெம்பரு மீட்டிங் இருக்கு, ஏஜிஎம் மீட்டிங் இருக்கு. அவங்க கேட்டாங்க எனக்கு, நேற்றே கூப்பிட்டு அவங்க கிடைக்கல. ஓகே ஓகே, சரி அப்புறம் கூப்பிடுறேன் நான். Good morning, sir. Abhi sir, at home. Okay. Okay. No, today 11 o'clock there is a AGM meeting, Federation. Voting illay irbodu. AGM will be by 11 o'clock. Zoom. ಅದೇ ಅವರು 11 o'clock ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರು ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ದೆನ್ ಇದು. ಆರಾಮ್ ಸರ್, ನೀವು?
इसमें लिए हैं।
Okay. Everything is fine, sir.
Oh,
Yeah.
come on.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning. I am Vijay Shankar from Kendriya Vidyalaya Association.
Good morning. I am KK Gupta from KVIC, Pensioners Welfare Association, Mumbai.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Good morning. I am Nanjuneshwaran from Spice Grove Pensioners Association.
Again, if it is not audible, I repeat, I am Vijay Shankar from Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan Associations from Bangalore.
Good morning, sir. I am Krishna Yoda from NCSM Pensioners Welfare Association.
Morning.
Sir, good morning. It's Dr. Venkatraman, Coffee Board Pensioners Association President.
Good morning. I am Vijayendra Nair, General Secretary, All India Rubber Board Pensioners Welfare Association.
Okay. Welcome, sir.
ಹನ್ನೊಂದು ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು.
Yeah.
Morning, Prakash.
Morning. Good morning to everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
In another, by 11 o'clock, we'll commence the meeting. Mr. Maheshwari is also already available. Has come.
Okay. Yeah.
So exactly at 11, we'll start.
Sure, sir. Sure. Thank you.
Namaste.
Oh, namaste, sir. Rao, sir.
Mr. Suryaprakash, now all mails should go to Vijay Shankar. He is secretary for Kendra Vidyalaya now.
Yes, sir. Yes, I have sent message not only to him, but president also.
Jai Jai.
Sir, I have joined, sir. I am Vijay Shankar here, sir.
Thank you, Vijay Shankar. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think Vijay Shankar can speak about Kendriya Vidyalaya.
He will only. He will only.
So you can introduce yourself and I give the opportunity.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
One representative from each of our affiliates can introduce themselves to Maheshwari when I tell them, please, so that you can decide about amongst yourself who can address.
ನಮ್ಮ ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾನು ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು
Sir, Suryaprakash sir. Namaskar sir. Muthuswamy from Kanchipuram, Tamil Nadu.
Thank you.
Hello.
Sir, yes, sir. You can start in another 2 minutes, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Yes, sir. Mr. Maheshwari is also available now with us. So, with the permission of our President, Dr. Mr. Uma Maheshwar Rao, I think we can start the meeting now. And so, I will introduce Mr. Maheshwari and also our association to Maheshwari. So, we will commence the meeting. So, greetings from our association to our chief guest, Comrade S.C. Maheshwari ji, all our affiliates and their members who are attending this annual general body meeting. Good morning to all of you. It is my pleasure to welcome our chief guest, Comrade Maheshwari ji, who has kindly consented to inaugurate the open session of our AGM and address all our affiliates and also to have interaction with them. He needs no introduction, as he had met all of us in the year 2015 at the annual general body meeting of Coordination Committee of Central Government Pensioners Association. In fact, when I requested him to give his profile so that it will facilitate me to introduce him to our affiliates, he informed me that the work done by the Bharat Pensioner Samaj, to which he is the Secretary General for more than 2 decades, which looks after the welfare of the pensioners and family pensioners, itself will speak volumes instead of promoting himself. For information of our affiliates, Comrade Maheshwari had retired from the services of Indian Railways as an engineer and is holding the post of Secretary General for more than 2 decades. The Bharat Pensioner Samaj, which is the apex body representing All India Pensioners Association, having reached to over 10 lakh civilian pensioners from all departments and disciplines of Government of India, was established in the year 1965. BPS is also affiliated to the International Federation on Aging, Toronto, Canada, and it is also one of the institutions identified as a nodal body by the Department of Pension and Pensioners Welfare, Government of India. The Pensioners Associations of Autonomous Bodies are also affiliated to the Bharat Pensioner Samaj, and many other our affiliates are also affiliated to Bharat Pension Samaj, like Central Silk Board, Tea Board Pensioners Association, etc. Bharat Pensioner Samaj also publishes its monthly magazine, Bharat Pensioner, which provides a wide range of information pertaining to pension-related issues, both in print as well as in digital form. So I request all our affiliates also to get these pensioners, Bharat Pensioner, which is very useful to them. And I may also add here that I am actually representing the pensioners of autonomous bodies on the management committee of the Bharat Pensioner Samaj. So before I request our president, Mr. K. Umeshwarrao, to preside over this session, I would like to touch upon our association, activities of our association. Sir, the Pensioners Association of Autonomous Bodies of Central Government was formed in the year 2017 under the leadership of its former president, Shri A.N. Balram, who was the president of Coffee Board Pensioners Association, and consequent to his resignation, Shri K. Uma Maheshwar Rao, who had retired from the services of Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangatana as Assistant Commissioner and who was President of Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangatana Retired Employees Association, has taken over charge of President of our association. Dr. S. Rogers, who had retired from the services of Central Silk Board as Director of Research and who is the President of Central Silk Board Pensioners Association, is the Vice President of our association. Our association has been registered under the Karnataka Societies Act 1960. The association was formed with the main objective of creating a platform for all the pensioners association of autonomous bodies to unite and bring them under one umbrella to facilitate coordination amongst them and assist them in safeguarding the interest of their members in the matter of their legitimate demands on pension and other benefits. And also, though it was mainly to focus its attention towards getting healthcare facilities which were not available to the pensioners of autonomous bodies, its attention was diverted towards getting 7 CPC orders implemented, as there was inordinate delay in the implementation of those orders by the concerned organizations in which they were working. At present, about 16 autonomous bodies are affiliated to our federation. All these autonomous bodies have been constituted either by an act of parliament or constituted under the Societies Act with the specific approval of the central government, and the pensioners of all these organizations are being paid pension and other benefits in terms of CCS pension rules as amended from time to time. I also would like to touch upon the various issues pertaining to the pensioners of our association, which have to be looked into at the level of Bharat Pensioner Samaj and get those issues resolved by taking up with the appropriate authorities of the Government of India. At this juncture, I just would like to add here that Bharat Pensioner Samaj has already taken all these issues with the government. However, I would like to request him again to pursue these issues and see that these issues are resolved at the government level. One is to treat all the pensioners of autonomous bodies as central government pensioners. Their welfare is also taken care of by the Department of Pension and Pensioners Welfare, and they are also covered in the orders issued by them in the matter of payment of pension, gratuity, commission, DNS relief, etc. to the central government pensioners, so that the pensioners of these organizations are treated on similar footings and concerned orders are implemented without any delay. Secondly, allocation or release of sufficient funds for payment of pension and other benefits to the retiring or retired employees of the autonomous bodies in time, so that there will not be undue delay, which happened in the case of implementation of 7 CPC orders. As you are aware, sir, the pensioners of autonomous bodies of central government do not have any healthcare facilities except getting 1,000 rupees as fixed medical allowance every month, which is not even enough to meet the doctor's consultation charges. There is an urgent need to bring all these pensioners under a health scheme to cater to their medical needs, especially in their old age, belonging to vulnerable group of older people who often face medical emergencies requiring immediate medical attention and treatment. As such, the pensioners of these organizations have to be provided with healthcare support on par with other central government employees, either through CGHS or through any other healthcare facilities or health insurance scheme, so that they also get medical treatment on cashless basis. Further, pending grant of suitable healthcare facilities, the government may have to be requested to instruct all the empaneled hospitals under CGHS to extend medical facilities to the pensioners of autonomous bodies at CGHS rate on payment of cash across the counter, so that it will reduce the financial burden of these pensioners to a greater extent. So though on our request to the empaneled hospitals, only few hospitals at Bangalore and other places have agreed to extend CGHS rates on payment of cash, other hospitals have not yet responded. If the government issues instruction, all our pensioners residing in different parts of the country will be benefited. See, this is only a stopgap arrangement, and we'll have to get our medical benefits on cashless basis. And next is, the government may also have to be urged to exempt the payment of GST on the premium payable by the senior citizens and pensioners, whoever desires to get themselves covered under the health insurance scheme at various insurance companies. For example, at present, we have been forced to pay 18% as GST on the premium to be paid to the insurance companies. It is a huge amount. So nextly, there are newspaper reports that some of the autonomous and statutory bodies of the central government working under various ministries are being closed or reorganized. In such cases, we will approach you, sir. We will have to be helped. Because recently, in the case of autonomous body working under the Ministry of Commerce, they have sent a revised draft bill. Now they are amending, for example, Coffee Act 1942, they are amending. Not amending, they are repealing, and they are replacing it by draft coffee bill, and for which they have sought the feedback from all the stakeholders. Of course, we have also given to the Ministry of Commerce, and we have requested them to safeguard our interest. Similarly, in the case of Rubber Board, Spices Board, and Tobacco Board, they have done like this. So in case there is a situation arises, we will approach you, sir, with a request to help us. Then during post-retirement, pensioners keep their lifetime savings in the post office, bank deposits, etc., and survive on the interest received to meet their day-to-day livelihood and medical expenses. In the recent past, the government has drastically reduced the interest rate. The pensioners who solely depends on interest income finds it difficult to survive, as he has no other source of income to cover the drop in interest amount on the one hand and rising inflationary cost on the other hand. So therefore, hence, sir, the government has to be requested to continue the same rate of interest which was prevailing at the time of placing deposits by the senior citizens throughout their life and should not be reduced at any cost. Sir, another issue which has now cropped up very recently is with regard to leave encashment. See, for government, that is central and state employees, the amount received towards the leave encashment at the time of retirement is exempted from the payment of tax. We are also part of central government. In the case of retired employees other than central government, in the case of retired employees other than central and state government, the leave encashment is not fully exempted, and the leave encashment which is received in excess of rupees 3 lakhs is taken as income and taxed. Recently, pensioners from Rubber Board have been issued notice directing them to pay tax on the leave encashment they have got over and above 3 lakhs. We feel it is not correct. And again, there is a discrimination amongst pensioners of central government and pensioners of autonomous bodies in the matter of leave encashment also. So we request the Bharat Pensioner Samaj to take up this issue with the Ministry of Finance. While I wish to inform our affiliates that Bharat Pensioner Samaj has already taken up many of our above issues with the government, I request Comrade Maheshwari ji to pursue these issues with the government to ensure that these issues are resolved at the earliest. I thank Sri Maheshwari ji for taking up these issues with the government on our request, and also thank him again for accepting our request to be in the midst of us today in this AGM, address all of us and interact with us. At this stage, our special thanks to him for helping the pensioners of T-Board in getting their 7 CPC benefits implemented in Toto, and also the pensioners of Tobacco Board in getting their dearness allowance partially. Sir, recently the 3% whatever the enhancement has been given, which has been given to all the autonomous bodies, but Tobacco Board has not yet still got it, sir. We will send a draft letter to you with a request to take up this issue with the government, that especially with the Ministry of Commerce, and help the pensioners of Tobacco Board in getting their balance 3% also, sir. I request him, while welcoming all the affiliates and their members who are present in the AGM, we will, I am now requesting the representatives of each of our affiliates to introduce about them, and maybe only for 2 minutes I can give time to each of them, because we'll have to hear from Mr. Maheshwariji, and also we'll have to interact with him after his address. So to start with, I request our Coffee Board Pensioners Association President, Dr. Venkatramanan, to speak about his association, please.
Good morning. I am Dr. Venkatramanan, President of the Coffee Board Pensioners Association. The retired employees of Coffee Board had formed the association and registered under Karnataka Societies Registration Act 1960 during 2006. We have 1,780 members as on date. The association is holding general body meeting after every year, after conducting monthly meetings of executive committee members as well as coordinators. We identify coordinators in each district, mainly to help the members of the association to meet the requirements and also to address the problem immediately. And we also publish a magazine called Coffee Board Pensioners' Voice.
1 minute, Venkatraman. Except the speaker, kindly all others, please mute your phones so that we can hear clearly.
Okay.
Yes.
We also publish a magazine named Coffee Board Pensioners' Voice every month, informing the activities carried out by the association, along with the monthly statement of accounts for the information of the members. We also felicitate every year our members who had completed 75 years, 90 years, 95 years, and 100 years. Further, we also felicitate our every year children and grandchildren of our members, and who had excelled their academic, especially SLC, PUC, graduation, and professional courses, by granting cash award of 1,000 rupees and 2,000 respectively with a memento. We have death relief fund scheme, and a sum of 5,000 is being paid on the date of death of our member to meet the day expenses to the family members of the member who had become the member of the death relief fund scheme. Recently, we constituted a new scheme, benevolent fund scheme, especially to extend financial assistance to a smaller extent towards the medical needs of the members who are not sound financially and who are hospitalized for the treatment. We had organized digital life certificate to facilitate the pensioners, family pensioners to get the certificate using the face recognition device provided by the Department of Pension and Pension Welfare. We have conducted webinar also for members on pension related issues, income tax related issues, and how to write will, etc. during 2000 and 2001. And we are very fortunate to have our CEO secretary and Director of Finance who are very, very helpful to us to solve all our problem, and we have got a good support. I thank the organizer for giving me this opportunity to introduce Coffee Board Pension Association to our chief guest on this occasion of AGM. Thank you very much. Thank one and all.
Sir, Central Silk Board Pensioners Association.
Hello, Dr. Veeraya, I can narrate it. Yeah.
Sir, please.
My General Secretary will narrate the issue.
Okay. Good morning to all of you. This is Dr. Veeraya, Secretary of Central Silk Board Pensioners Association. Central Silk Board Pensioners Association was registered under the Karnataka Registration Act 1960 during the year 1914. This association has started with the membership of, say, beginning with the, now as on date, about 500 life members are there. Periodically, we conduct the management committee meeting and deliberate the issues relating to service matters, accounts, health issues. Besides the issues deliberated in the Federation of Autonomous and Statutory Bodies, Central Government Coordination Committee, Pensioners Association, Karnataka Central Government Pensioners Association, and others. We are happy to be associated with Bharat Pensioners Association, Samaj. We are regularly remitting annual subscription besides paying contribution as decided in the meeting. We are quite happy with this charter of issues discussed and deliberated by the above association and its outcome. As being demanded by others Pensioners Association, it is the considered view of Central Silk Board Pensioners Association and strongly feel that the appropriate authority should take up the healthcare issues with the concerned ministries so that the Central Silk Board Pensioners Association get the healthcare benefits under the CGHS scheme. And pensioners are also treated on par with other central government employees. If our demands are not agreed by the concerned ministries, we feel that we should take up the issue with the court and take the legal recourse at a regular fight. So this is a nutshell about the Central Silk Board Pensioners Association. I thank you all for the opportunity given to me. Thank you.
Sir K.K. Gupta from Khadi Village Industries Commission. Can you kindly speak? Mr. K.K. Gupta. Mr. K.K. Gupta. Mr. K.K. Gupta, please.
Mute ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
Go to the next.
Okay.
Unmute
Mr.
me.
Ghosh.
Unmute me.
Okay.
Unmute.
You can speak, sir.
Unmute. I've been unmuted. It's okay. See, I'm K.K. Gupta, Chairman of All India Khadi and Village Industries Commission, Pensioners Association, Mumbai. We are affiliated to our federation in Bangalore, and this organization was established in 1991. Though KVI Commission is established under the Act of Parliament in 1956, the pension came to KVIC in July 1984, and the Pensioners Association was formed in 1991. Okay, we have about about 4,000 live pensioners who are still getting pension from KVIC out of grants received from Government of India under establishment head. Now it is plan and non-plan has been mixed, so it is one and the same. Hello, hello.
Yeah, it is, sir.
Yeah,
Audible.
yeah.
We are hearing, sir. Speak.
So Pensioners Association has taken up various issues for the welfare of pensioners, including the implementation of 6th pay commission as well as 7th pay commission. So under 7th pay commission, we have received all the benefits and nothing is pending either with the commission or the government. The only facility for which we are trying to get benefit of is very well explained by Mr. Suryaprakash. So we have a Khadi and Village Industries Commission, employees medical attendance regulation, which came into being in 1961. And it doesn't include pensioners because 1961 there was no pensioner in KVIC. Pensioners came into effect. The pension benefit came into effect in KVIC in July 84. So after that, we were trying to get CGHS benefit from Health Ministry, but time and again, Health Ministry has rejected this our demand of inclusion in CGHS. When we saw that this is being flatly refused by Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, we approached our own management to amend KVIC medical attendance regulations and include the word pensioner in the definition of employees. Within the definition of employees, include the word pensioners in addition to the employees. So that demand of ours, after long persuasion, after 3 years, the chairman of KVIC accepted it and got it approved through a resolution in its board meeting. So after the board meeting, it was approved. It has gone to government for amendment of regulations, the word employees. So to include pensioners in that, so that we can get benefit of medical attendance regulations. Now that has gone to the government last year in the month of May, and government is raising queries time and again. They wanted to know whether it can be financial implications can be accommodated by KVIC, which KVIC has replied twice that yes, we don't need any additional financial allocation for this. We will manage within our own resources. The second query was raised last month and KVIC has already replied. Now it is at the stage of Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises to approve it. Once government approval is received, KVIC can pay our medical attendance benefit through medical attendance regulations of KVIC, apart from the CGHS. So CGHS, we have also tried in Bombay, apart from what our federation has tried from Bangalore. We have received recognition from an eye hospital, namely Lotus Eye Hospital in Bombay, Seramco Dental Clinic, and one diagnostic laboratory, Aarti Scans. So we have received this approval from 3 organizations for treatment of pensioners at concessional rate or CGHS rates at par with CGHS rate, but on payment of cash, as is already prevailing in other parts of the country. Even our Lucknow unit has done this with so many hospitals. Jaipur unit has done this. So in this, we are now surrounded by this cashless facility, cash payment facility. Now, cash payment facility, you understand that once a pensioner gets ill or is hospitalized, immediate cash availability is on a low-key basis. So we want that this CGHS facility should be extended to us by cashless basis or cash payment basis, whatever it is. But only this yesterday we have sent a resolution to our federation that please write to Ministry of Health and Family Welfare to enlist our organizations at least for payment of cash by our pensioners at CGHS rates till such time the government accepts our demand for regular inclusion under CGHS health scheme. So this is our demand that with the government that they can notify that all these autonomous bodies of central government, all pensioners can get benefits of CGHS on payment of cash from their level. So this is our latest demand, and we have a medical aid fund for our existing pensioners, which we operate, but the maximum benefit which we can allow to each pensioner is rupees 10,000 only. So we are trying to mitigate the sufferings of pensioners as we can do with our limited resources, but it will be a great way if our General Secretary Bharat Pension Samaj, Mr. Maheshwari, helps us by getting this included in the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare scheme to allow all pensioners, irrespective of their organizations under autonomous bodies, to allow CGHS health enrollment in CGHS health scheme, and till such time as a temporary measure to enroll us for treatment on payment of cash basis. This is all I wanted to say. Thank you.
So next is
Mr. Suryaprakash.
next is I request T-board.
Suryaprakash, 1 minute.
Yes, sir.
Please check up with Maheshwari sir
Yes,
whether he requires, because 1 or 2 words about this, because about his time, and if he is ready to listen, he can permit everybody to explain. Otherwise, name and association.
Okay.
And
So, Mr. Maheshwari, they can take 1 or 2 minutes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
No problem.
Okay.
Just
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
reduce your.
I only
I will love to hear everybody.
Okay, sir. Then thank you, sir. Then thank you. So, T-Board Pensions Association, Mr. Ghosh, would you like to speak, please? Sir, you have to unmute, sir. Sir, you have to unmute.
Now, all I have to say that I have heard the words of Coffee Board and KVIC, etc. And T-Board's pensioners' demand is at par with them, because nothing new has to be added. Thing is that these autonomous bodies, they are being debarred from these medical facilities, though they enjoy the pay scale of the government and they enjoy the pensionary benefits of the government. But as far as this medical is concerned, they are not being considered either under CGHS or under any other common platform to get the medical reimbursement if hospitalized or any inpatient treatment is required. Now, the thing is that the Federation is also trying, and Mr. Suryaprakash has already has a mind to go to the Karnataka court for solving our issues, because in general, it has to be approved for all the autonomous bodies. Individual approval may not work out, but if it is being allowed for all the pensioners of the autonomous bodies, it will be helpful to all the organization, and it will be helpful to all the pensioners who are being working under different autonomous bodies prior to their retirement. Now, the thing is that the TBPA, that is T-Board Pensioners Association, was formed long back. I think it is the oldest. It was formed about 40 years back, and it was registered in 1984 with a very few members. Now, slowly and gradually, it has grown up. And now, as far as our prime concern to work for the association, we look into the individual grievances or any individual problems that may arise out of getting pension or etc., or getting the family pension sanctioned or getting the arrears of any EA. So we are looking after each individual case, and if it is a
Sir, it is unmuted, sir. Sir, unmuted it is.
we are being supported by Mr. Suryaprakash, Bharat Pensioner Samaj. We are thankful for that, and we are getting every help whenever we require. So I don't want to prolong my discussion because there are many important issues to be discussed today. So thank you for giving me this opportunity to talking to Mr. Suryaprakash, and which can be heard for everybody present in the meeting. And thank you so much.
Mr. Vijay Shankar. Sir, you have to unmute, sir. Sir, you have to unmute.
Hello,
Okay.
good morning, sir. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Good morning. I am Vijay Shankar, Secretary of Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan,
আমি
retired
করতে রাজি,
employees
তুমি
association.
করতে দিতে, কেন জানি না আমি জানি না। একে ফোন করে তাকে ফোন করে তুমি কি তার কাজে তুমি কি এখন
Yes, yes, please, sir.
Yeah. So our association, KVS Retired Employees Association, Bangalore chapter, was constituted in 2002 under the leadership of Shri Uma Maheshwar Rao. And it is being conducted regularly, all the conventions, half-yearly conventions and yearly conventions every year. And we are very proud to say that this association of Bangalore chapter is affiliated to Karnataka Pensioners Association, Karnataka Autonomous Bodies Association, and also to the coordination committee of the central government. The secretary and the treasurer are nominated and on election basis, and it is being conducted regularly. Our association is registered under Karnataka Societies Act 1960, and we are very proud to say that we are having a very good number of retired employees in our association, and all the benefits whatever required for the pensioners is being given, but except for the medical facility. Medical facility is one of the important issues, I tell you, and CGHS facilities also should be given to our members. And in order to cope up with the immediate need, the central government coordination committee has provided health cards to our members so that we can avail the medical facility at par with the CGHS rates. And it is only a temporary measure that we have taken, but central government should see that this medical facility is to be provided to all the pensioners, particularly those who are having medical issues, particularly aged about 60, 70, 80 plus people are suffering and who are supported by the government by providing medical facility. And our association is taking all the issues required for the members, and our regular conventions and half-yearly conventions will take up the issues of the members, and we are felicitating the super senior members every year, 2 members who have crossed 80 years plus, and felicitating them. And all these years we were conducting the conventions offline, but due to the pandemic and the corona problem, we are conducting virtual meetings every year. The executive committee meetings on quarterly basis and half-yearly and yearly conventions are being taken up. And I am very happy to say that our General Secretary, Bharat Pensioners Samaj General Secretary S. Maheshwar sir has extending the full support to us, and Mr. TV, our Central Government Association members also very cordial and supportive to our members to meet with our requirements, and expecting all the facilities whatever required provided to other autonomous body members and also central government pensioners. And we expect Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan Association retired employees members also get the benefit, so that everybody have a peaceful and a healthy life. With this, I thank the association for giving me the opportunity to present my views. Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Vijayendra Nair.
Yes, good morning.
From Rubber Board.
I am Vijayendra Nair, General Secretary of All India Rubber Board Pensioners Welfare Association, Kottayam. Our association is also registered with the Charitable Institution Act under the Kerala government and functioning since 1996. At present, we have nearly 800 members, life membership. We are also conducting our monthly meeting regularly, executive committee meeting regularly, and we are holding the general board meeting every year. And this is the ensuing meeting will be our 26th general body meeting. In all, we are felicitating our old age members above 80 years and 90 years by giving a honorable gift to us also. we are helping our needy pensioners to cope up with their medical expenditure by giving a minimum 8,000 rupees. They have to apply for the same, and we are mentioning the amount in considering their request in each and every general executive committee meeting. Our members are contributing to the welfare fund to the tune of ₹100 per month or above to help the needy in as and when necessary. There is no meeting. Thank you.
Mr. Daniel, please.
Yeah. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
My name is.
Sir, you have to unmute, sir. Sir, you have to unmute your mic. Sir, you have to unmute, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Now you can hear.
Yeah. So I am Jacob Daniel, President of the MPDA Pensioners Forum. Actually, we are having a membership of about 250 people. As many of the people told today morning, the burning issue with us also is about our health, this CGHS scheme. In fact, we have sent a number of letters to Ministry of Commerce and also the Health Department. But the latest report says that, that no other body will be considered apart from what they are presently giving. That is really something, very, very difficult and astonishing to us to understand. Because the government, they have taken a policy that whatever who are getting the benefits will be considered. That means they are not considering we people at par with them. That it is to be definitely taken into account, as many people have told here. And also, as Suryaprakash said, something like a medical insurance scheme, that could be very good because, many of the insurance schemes, they are not considering our old age and other things. So that will be also a very, very important aspect if we could take it up. And the third point I would stress again what the Suryaprakash said about the low interest that we are getting on our fixed deposit. Many of the people are just depending on the interest rate that they were getting on the fixed deposit. So I would request the concern to kindly take up this matter. Ours, we have already brought up a directory of our members, and we are contacting them. We can easily contact them. We got a small charity because we thought it is our desire to help them when they need. So we have formed a very small amount. Out of that, those who are in need of finance, we are helping them. These are the points I would raise from my part. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Krishna Gowda.
Yes, sir.
Please.
So good morning, everybody. I am Krishna Gowda from Secretary NCSM Pensioners Welfare Association. We have a small organization. The membership is very small. As on the date, we have got about 54 members. Even though it is a national level organization called NCSM Pensioners Welfare Association, only the people from Vishweshwara Industrial Museum have taken up the membership, the pensioners. And the pensioners from other parts of India, still they have not come forward to take the membership. We have been conducting the monthly meetings as well as the yearly meetings. And we have been presenting this audit reports to every year. And we have been getting all the help from our federation in solving our issues. So this is all what I want to say. Thank you, everybody.
Mr. Surnarayan. Mr. OK Surnarayan. Mr. Surnarayan. Mr. Nanjundeshwaran.
Hello.
So, Mr. Surnarayan, you can speak. Afterward,
I am representing IAMB Pension Welfare Association. Here we are getting a outpatient about 1,400 rupees per month, and also the inpatient coverage is around 5 lakhs, and almost everybody is covered under the insurance scheme for the year. The pensioner pay a subscription, and the balance amount has been paid by the management. Insurance coverage around 5 lakhs per year. That's all. That's all.
Okay, Mr. Nanjundeshwaran.
Huh?
Mr. Nanjundeshwaran.
Yeah.
I'm Nanjundeshwaran, representing from Spice Board Pensioners Association. Spices Board is also a autonomous body and par with Coffee Board, Tea Board, Rubber Board, and Empada. We are having around 500 retired. Our total employees were 800, now reduced to 300 people. We got 7 CPC and other benefits. Only we are not getting is the medical reimbursement. Now the Government of India and Ministry of Commerce is revising the Act of Spice Board, Coffee Board, Tea Board, and Rubber Board. So I request the individual organizations and BMS to ask to include pensioners also for medical benefits. Second thing, recently I come to know there was a parliamentary committee recommendation for payment of 3,000 rupees or medical benefits through insurance or somewhere. That also we can, the BMS can pursue with the Government of India. Another my suggestion is the Government of India is paying public under Bharat Ayushman for a public up to 5 lakhs. The same type of insurance scheme for central government employees not covered by CGHS may be covered, a special scheme may be covered, and around for outward and in outpatient and inpatient facilities. And this is my request. We have no other problem. Second thing is the notional increment. The government is not at all considered. Still, it is number of courts. The BMS can take up that issue also. This is my submission, sir. Thank you.
If I have left out any other associations, please come forward. If any other associations are there who have not spoken. Hello?
Sir, from Tobacco Board, Ramesh, please, sir.
Okay, from Tobacco Board, please, Ramesh.
Sir,
Ramesh.
again, sir, I am Ramesh from Tobacco Board, sir.
Yes, sir, please speak, sir.
They 3% not implemented by Tobacco Board, even after 7 months by the government. As per the prevailing procedure by the Tobacco Board, after sanctioning by the government, the board insists for approval from Commerce Ministry. Earlier, arrears of 11%, DA also was paid only after getting approval as from the Ministry of Commerce. And this is the DA during December 2021. The latest 3% DA arrears due to pensions is not yet put forth by the Tobacco Board to the Ministry of Commerce. This has to be insisted with the appropriate authorities on behalf of us by our association, sir. This is the latest position, sir. Still, they have not sent the approval for Ministry of Commerce, sir.
Okay. Okay. Any other associations would like to speak? Any
Sir.
other associations if I have left?
Okay.
Please.
Sir.
Okay, with this, I think whoever from the association representatives are present here, they have spoken. And now, before I request, now it is time for me to request Mr. Maheshwari ji to address all our affiliates. My only request to all our affiliates who are present in this meeting to please keep your mic in mute position so that there will not be any disturbance from the background and we can hear clearly what Mr. Maheshwari is addressing. Thereafter, you will have a chance to interact with him again. So I once again request you to keep your mic in mute position. Please. Thank you. Sir, Mr. Maheshwari ji, sir, please.
Thank you, sir. Respected managing committee members of pensioners associations of AB and SB, Karnataka, Bangalore, honorable delegates, guests, ladies and gentlemen. I thank the management once again for having given me the chance to
be with you in this virtual AGM. While inaugurating the AGM, I pay homage to all those who lost their lives due to pandemic and to those who gave prime sacrifice serving the country. On behalf of Bharat Pension Samaj, I can assure you that Bharat Pensioner Samaj will always be with you in all your difficulties and resolving the issues. See, as far as medical issues are concerned, we have represented at all levels, right up to WHO. And the issue is already before a parliamentary committee. We have already submitted our written representation to it, and they are likely to call us for oral evidence also. See, we have raised that all existing scheme like RELHS, ECHS, and all other schemes which are running by the government to take care of the health care need of the pensioners and the employees should be brought under CGHS, and CGHS should cover all pensioners irrespective of any discrimination of department, ministries, or boards, etc. Because we have represented to them that the Supreme Court, as far back as 1995, has ruled that healthcare of the ex-employees is a fundamental right, and everybody should get health facilities at par. We have been representing different forums, even parliamentary committees also have taken note of our representations. Parliamentary committee recommendations 110 has already come out, and they have also agreed that FMA should be increased from 1,000 to 3,000 rupees, and several other recommendations are favorable to us. Let us see how far they will implement. Regarding notional increment also, they have recommended that the government should consider it and it should be agreed to. Now, during past 2 years have been very horrific for all of us. We lost lot of, say thousands of pensioners we lost, and most of the things we have changed. Corona has changed many things. The way of life, it has changed. The way we represent our voice, it has been changed. But unfortunately, the bureaucrats, their attitude, and the system of passing down the buck downwards in the central government has not changed a bit. Now, Prime Minister is talking of ease of living. The parliamentary committees also are giving recommendations favorable to us. But Supreme Court also desires that pensioners' life of the employees after retirement should be made easier. But the bureaucrats are twisting the things and to our disadvantage. See, the latest example is we can see in CCS pension rules 2021. If you read the rule number 5012B3, there instead of self-declaration of income, they have inserted any other document, SDM certificate, ITR, or any other document. Now see, they want a illiterate daughter, dependent daughter of a ex-employee to submit, to obtain PAN and then to submit ITR every year to claim her right to family pension. This is too much to expect of a illiterate lady who is surviving by doing menial jobs and all others. So they always keep some margin for exploitation, create some ambiguity in the rules, and the result is that we get harmed. However, we have been trying our best at all levels, and we are getting results also. It is not that we are all always it is negative. We are getting positive results also. We have been able to get several benefits for the pensioners of the all departments, not only of central government or even for EPS 95, even EIC, and even for statutory bodies and others. And we will continue to do so with all our force. With your support, we'll go ahead, and all your issues are being processed with full force, and we are hopeful to resolve the big issue of the healthcare very soon, because we are getting favorable response right from WHO to the parliamentary committees in the country. And we have yet to see how the government reacts to the recommendations of the parliamentary committee. Another parliamentary committee is considering the issue of healthcare and CGHS. CGHS has got a lot of problems. The rates are so low that even if you are covered by CGHS and you go to the hospital, they avoid giving you proper care. You are attended only by the junior most doctors, because the rates are so low that nobody in the super specialty hospitals like to provide you the proper facilities. So that is also being considered by a parliamentary committee, and we have already submitted them our representations, and we have pleaded that healthcare is a fundamental right of all ex-employees, not only of all ex-employees, but for everybody. The Constitution provides the right to life under the Article 21, and everybody's health is equally important, as that all should be covered by one or the other health scheme. We have pleaded that all health schemes should be brought under one platform, that is under the CGHS. CGHS rates should be suitably revised, and it should cover all pensioners or all categories, all departments and all ministries without any exception. Regarding notional increment also, recently the recommendation has come from the parliamentary committee, and it is being processed. Another issue is of additional pension at the age of 65, 70, 75 and 80 and above. This also has been accepted by the parliamentary committee, and they have recommended that this should be considered. That it is under process. Already Department of Pension has asked for the details from the different departments and the ministries to work out the financial implications. We hope that something positive will come out of it. See, it is a continuous process of representing the things. So we expect that as and when the things come out, and we need your support, you should all come out with full force with BPS, so that we can pursue the matter at the highest level. I will also request that whenever any representation, see, now the way we represent is already changed. Now we have to represent on social media also. We have put our representations on the social media also. So we have adopted a system that once we send any representation to the government, it is put on the social media and it is sent by email to all the MPs. When it is sent to all the MPs, the parliamentary committee to take note of it, we request that whenever you find any representation from any of the organization of the pensioners on social media, please share it to the maximum, that make it viral. Once the issue is made viral, it comes to the notice of the government and the press, and even parliamentary committees take care of it. So final force for us is the parliamentary committee. If parliamentarians start supporting us, something positive will definitely come out. Bharat Pensioner Samaj is very sure that health issue will be resolved. We are pursuing the health insurance scheme also, but the problem there also is no insurance company is prepared to give the benefit of OPD to the pensioners, and then they are not covering the existing disease without a lock-in period of 4 years, which is too much. We have also represented that if for the insurance premium, 75% of it should be borne by the government and only 25% by the pensioner concerned. So this scheme is lying now with the finance ministry for the last 2 years, and the finance ministry is not giving any decision over it. We are pursuing the matter, and we are hopeful that something will definitely come out. But healthcare is a must for everybody, and this has been agreed at the highest level. We have raised the issue through IFA also at UN level and WHO level, and they are all putting pressure on the Ministry of Health of our country. And we have been assured by the Ministry of Health officers also that they will be taking care of it as soon as possible. Now, regarding the interest on our deposits, there is a old age policy of 1999 for the older persons that provides 2% extra interest on our deposits. That is not being implemented. We are getting only 2.25 now. Earlier it was 1%, but then it was reduced to 0.5%. Then now it is 0.25%. We are pursuing the government to implement the 99 policy of older persons in toto, so that our deposits in the banks are protected. Not only that, then we want 100% insurance coverage for our deposits. Because if the banks fail, we at present, previously it was only 1 lakh, now it is raised to 5 lakhs, but that is also not sufficient. We want that 100% insurance coverage for our bank deposits, as well as we are pursuing the matter that our rate of interest should be 2% higher than the normal rate. And let us see how the things move, because now at present they are taking the shelter of the corona pandemic and the economic condition of the country. But we have also requested them to cater to it. The financial position should not come in the way, because if they stop the MP-led, the sufficient finances for our needs will be available to them. So, issue is that our bureaucratic system is such that one is that they are not able to give a decision. They simply pass on the issue to downwards. Recently, we earlier had brought it to the notice of the cabinet secretary, and cabinet secretary also has taken a meeting with his officers and asked them not to pass down the issue to the lower level, but to take decision on the file. Actually, what is happening, we send a representation to the secretary, it is forwarded to the joint secretary, then it goes to the director. Director sends it to the deputy secretary to under secretary. Finally, it goes to SO, and nothing happens. So, cabinet secretary has agreed to take note of it, and he is advising his officers not to pass down the buck downwards, but to take the decision on the file. And the decision should be taking into consideration the constitutional provisions as well as the pronouncements of the Supreme Court, which are all in our favor. On healthcare, Constitutional Bench of the Supreme Court has ruled in 1995 that it is a fundamental right of employee and the ex-employee to get adequate and quality health care. We are pursuing it on this basis. We represented it to the Seventh Pay Commission also. We are representing to the parliamentary committees also. We are hopeful that with the support of all of you and other organizations which are with us, we are Bharat Pensioner Samaj is now having a membership of almost 15 lakh of pensioners of different categories. Even from the states also, states are joining us. There are several states which are covered under 7th CPC are coming with us to jointly and severally represent the issues. And now the time of physical rallies have gone. We have to use the social media only. So that for that, I request all of you to make use of social media for representing our issues and highlighting our issues, and to support it. Whosoever association raise the issue, all others should support it so that the issue is made viral and it comes to the notice of the government. So this is all I have to tell you on this day. Now I'm prepared to answer your questions if any. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So it is open now. If any of our affiliates would like to have interaction with him, kindly go ahead. Mr. Ghosh. Yes, sir, Mr. Ghosh. You please unmute, sir.
Yeah.
So we are thankful to Mr. Maheshwari, who has been trying fervently to implement some medical scheme for the pensioners attached with the different autonomous body and statutory bodies. So I think if Bharat Pensioner Samaj really take up the issue, I think something good will come out and for which everybody will be benefited, and we are really thankful to Mr. Maheshwari for that. I only wanted to ask a question that is, we have received a notification from the pensioners, these grievances cell of the government, that person attaining 65 years and above, their pension will go up by 5% gradually. Is this authentic? That I want to
see, this is a recommendation of the parliamentary committee. At present, the Ministry of Personnel and Department of Pension, they are working out the financial implications.
Okay.
They have asked all the departments and the ministries to provide them with the details of the pensioners with them, age-wise details they want, how many 65 years, how many 70 years, like that. So we hope that something will definitely be improved, because this is a parliamentary committee set up by the present government itself on our appeals. So they cannot totally ignore it. But it all depends on now financial implications. The departments are delaying the information. We have requested all the departments. We have requested the trade unions also to pursue the matter with the departments to provide the required information early, because finance ministry is going to take its own time after they get the details.
Thank you. Thank you, Maheshwari Saab.
Sir, any others want to talk, speak, or ask questions?
Mr. Suryaprakash,
Yes, sir.
I want to say a few words.
Yes, sir. Please, sir.
Okay. Mr. Maheshwari ji, thank you. First of all, let me thank you on behalf of the Central Cell Board. My name is Roger. I'm Central Cell Board Pensioners Association President. Sir, you have taken up this health issue with various levels. Now, you said that it has come to the Parliament committee, now has also recommended and put it before the government. Sir, as you are well aware, there are 3 categories of autonomous bodies as far as the healthcare is concerned. One category of autonomous bodies get CGHS facilities. All the CGHS facilities, they are covered under CGHS. There are second categories of autonomous bodies. They have made their own health scheme for themselves, each autonomous body, and implement it for the benefit of the pensioners and the employees. Sir, unfortunately, we fall under the third category. We have no healthcare facility at all, especially the pensioners. We have absolutely no healthcare facilities extended by them. There's a lot of discrimination, although we are part of the government. We are working under the autonomous bodies of the government of India. Sir, most of the time when we approach CGHS or our own department, we write to them, they say CGS do not have the wherewithal and we are not able to cover you. Even if we cover you, it is on a cost to cost basis. So you better take care of yourself. Sir, in several parliament questions, the Honorable Minister for Health has explained that taking care of the health of the autonomous body is the responsible, autonomous bodies employees is the responsibility of the concerned autonomous bodies. Likewise, so many replies we have got, all kinds of replies we have got, but this problem has not resolved. With the Parliament board also, it should not reach a standstill. We want a clear direction. Either they should take up and implement the CGHS facility, or alternately, they should direct each autonomous body to implement a special healthcare facility for the pensioners. This should be quite clear, sir. Otherwise, in the name of we are looking into it, the autonomous body will, nobody will. We have been left behind for several years, and millions of our pensioners have died an untimely death because of the cost of healthcare. Sir, my request to you again is, see that the Parliament committee, when it comes up, please represent some benefit, healthcare benefit should reach the autonomous bodies. Sir, even the common man, poorest of the poor in the village, even under the Prime Minister's Ayushman Bharat, they get a benefit of 5 lakhs up to healthcare treatment. We have nothing, sir, except 1,000 rupees. We have nothing. I don't know even that 1,000 rupees, what for they get, because 1,000 is not even sufficient for one consultation. We have a family. Sir, this is one, sir. The second one, I want to place it before you is, sir, we are all pensioners and all our pensions are covered under CCS pension rules of 1972. Of course, now they have revised and said 2021, etc. Sir, the Department of Pension and Pensioners' Welfare is the nodal department for formulation of policies relating to the pension and other retirement benefits of central government, sir. Since we are also covered under employees, this is for central government employees covered under CCS pension rules 1972. Sir, our autonomous bodies are also covered under, employees are also covered under CCS pension rules. Kindly take up this issue, see that we fall under the Department of Pension and Pensioners Welfare. This is my second request. These are the 2 requests, sir. I request you to take up on a priority and see that you help us in some way or the other, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
For Bharat Pensioner Samaj, for the purpose of healthcare, all pensioners are from one category. And we are pleading at all levels that health care should be provided to all pensioners without any discrimination or distinction. And we have suggested several ways out to the government also. The one of it is that if nothing can be done, then all pensioners should be brought under Ayushman Bharat, and this limit of 5 lakhs should be increased to 10 lakhs. Then for insurance also, we have been pleading for the last 1 decade. The scheme has been formulated and put before the finance ministry. The problem in that is that no insurance company is coming forward to cover existing disease of the senior citizen and to provide them OPD. The second problem is who will pay the insurance. We have pleaded that when health care is a fundamental right, why pensioner should pay the entire premium. We have suggested that we are prepared to pay 25% of the premium because it comes to about the proposal says 1,000 rupees per month per lakh. That is too much. See, that is too much. We are considering a person at the lowest level with 9,000 per month as pension. For him or her, it will be very difficult to pay the premium, that much premium. So we have suggested that it should be brought down and 75% of it should be borne by the government and on 25% may be shared by the pensioner. But the proposal is lying with the finance ministry for the last 2 years. They are not taking any decision. We are pursuing the matter with all force. See, what is happening actually, not only in India, but worldwide, the vote bank only is taken care of. See, we are over 2 crores of pensioners in the country, taking into consideration all categories of the pensioners. And with if we add the spouse and our dependents also, we become 5 crores. Now, pensioners are in every corner of the country and they are packed with experience and knowledge. One pensioner is capable of influencing the vote decision of at least 4 voters. With such a big ability, why should we work? Why should we be begging the government to give us this and that? Why can't we work for elderly vote bank? If we consider the larger community of senior citizens, we are 13.8 crores today. And every moment we are increasing. Pensioners also at the rate of 1 lakh, more than 1 lakh per year are being added. So with such a huge vote bank, we are still begging. So now the time has come when we should think of consolidating ourselves into elderly vote bank. You see, it is quite difficult, but it is not impossible. See, we will have to start from somewhere. It may not materialize in our lifetime, but we'll have to start from sometime. So if we start right from now, working on this direction, I think results will start coming out because every governing dispensation world over, they care for the vote. See, in America, AARP, All American Retired Persons Associations, they have proved it. They have become so strong that every presidential candidate approach them to find out what are their difficulties. We'll have to bring that situation in our country also. Now see, Supreme Court has said that the pensioners form one category. They have divided us into so many categories, department wise, pay commission wise, then the organization wise. So then now this is happening only because we are not united. If we get ourselves we united and start speaking in one voice. See, we worked very hard over the decades to get the parity in pension. The seventh pay commission was agreeable to this. They agreed. But I remember that Mr. Mathur, president of the seventh CPC, he told me that, look here, I am also a pensioner. My all sympathies are with you. I will recommend, but take it from me. The government will find out the ways not to implement it and to give you. And this is happening because we are not speaking in one voice, and then we are not united. The way out is only the unity, and I expect that this AGM today will take a decision to work for the unity of the pensioners. Then only we can hope for something. Otherwise, whichever government comes, they are not prepared to take care of the pensioners. They feel the pension is a burden. Now we hear whispers in the corridor of powers that the government is keen to find out ways how to curtail the pensionary benefits. We have to be very cautious, and the unity is the only way out.
Sir, I'll just add a word, sir. If you permit me, I'll just add a word. It is not just the government, sir. It is the apathy of the concerned autonomous bodies. Because the government has clearly said, it is your responsibility, the responsibility of the autonomous bodies to take care of the health of its own employees and pensioners. They've been telling very categorically, in spite of it, except a few organizations like National Green Tribunal, sir. National Green Tribunal also, along with us, asked the government to implement the CGHS. When once they said it is your responsibility, then they formulated a scheme exactly similar to CGHS. And they have taken advantage of whatever CGHS has signed the agreement with them. And similar scheme and similar contribution, they have got it approved. The government has approved. And if the government has approved for one institution like National Green Tribunal or ISRO, why not it approve it to others also? It's only the apathy of the boards, and it needs a direction from the ministry that all autonomous bodies should formulate health scheme like NGT for their employees and pensioners. Some kind of a direction, otherwise these are all weak bodies that do not ask for it. And we'll all have a untimely death like this for any amount of time. We keep on fighting. And we have a second option. In case if the parliamentary committees and your support, everything fails, unfortunately. If we want to approach the same Supreme Court, say that if our healthcare is the fundamental right, and why have we been denied, and why have we been discriminated?
We will definitely support your point of view. We will definitely support your point of view, and we will, to start with, we will approach the government to issue orders to all the autonomous bodies to take care of the health care of their pensioners and employees. But the problem will be of finance. Every health autonomous body is not capable having so much of finances to do it. They will need finances from the government. So we'll approach the government to assist by, to some extent. Some financial assistance should also be given to the autonomous bodies and statutory bodies to take care of their health care. I will request Mr. Suryaprakash ji to take care of this issue and assist us in pursuing the matter at hand.
Okay, sir. Sir, the problem is like this. The concerned autonomous bodies are all got this CCS pension rules approved by this concerned ministry. And all along, the ministry was giving the grant to the concerned ministries under the Consolidated Fund of India to meet the expenses towards implementation of 7 CPC orders or 6 CPC or 5 CPC. Now, when the 7 CPC was implemented, the only problem was the officers sitting in the ministry, concerned ministries, they are not aware. They are still asking the concerned autonomous bodies whether their pensioners are entitled under CCS pension rules or government is paying. That is the status of the ministry now. Every time we will have to tell them, yes, we are governed by the CCS pension rules. The government is granting funds under the Consolidated Fund of India to the concerned autonomous bodies for giving their pension and other benefits. So because of these things, every time we have to run from the pillar to post, begging them to give us that 7 CPC orders or whatever it is. Even for the dearness relief, you can see in the case of Tobacco Board, though they were being paid dearness relief all along. This time, one of the officers sitting in the ministry just referred the matter to the Ministry of Commerce. The officer sitting in the ministry just kept the file on his table till all of us, including the Federation, including the Bharat Pensioner Samaj, including the CCGPA, started writing letters to them, forcing them to take a decision. That took nearly 8 months, while the pensioners of the other organizations enjoyed the dearness relief. That is the status, sir. That is why what we are requesting is, since we are also part of the central government, supporting the central government activities in a one way or the other, and we are being granted the pension and other benefits from out of the grants sanctioned under the Consolidated Fund of India to the respective ministries and thereafter to the concerned autonomous bodies. We want to be part of the central government pensioners, and whenever they issue the orders to the central government pensioners granting the 7 CPC benefits or the dearness relief benefits, they should include in that order that this order is applicable to the autonomous bodies also. By that way, the officer sitting in the autonomous body should not again think whether that order is applicable to their organization and again referring to the ministries, again getting the approval. It takes nearly 6 to 8 months, and it depends upon the fancy of the person who is sitting there actually. So these are all the difficulties we are finding, sir. That is why we are requesting and urging you to take up with the concerned the authorities in the government and to see that we are also part of the central government. We will get the regular pension and other benefits without any undue delay, sir. This is only what our request, sir.
Yes, we will definitely take care of it and represent to the concerned authorities. And if required,
from the Federation, we will again send you the draft also, sir.
Yeah,
so take up this with the government.
We definitely will take up this issue, or not only take up, we will pursue it. If required, we will seek interview with the Prime Minister.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Thank you very much, sir. Thank
one
you.
message. Actually, all the commodity board autonomous bodies are following CCS rules, same pay scale. Nothing is different. Only it is for functioning, it is an autonomous body. So we are not different from any other government organization. That is one major thing.
No, whenever, even in the case of disciplinary rules, whenever somebody has to appeal against the orders of the chief executive officer of the autonomous body, the appellate authority is in the Ministry of Commerce, in the case of Coffee Board, Rubber Board. Similarly, in the case of other organizations also. When those cases are there, when they can deal with our case, disciplinary matter, they will have to take a decision. Why this kind of discrimination, we are not able to understand, sir. That's all.
We will definitely represent it and pursue the matter.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So anyway, before our president concludes this, if anybody wants to ask,
I want to make an appeal to all of you that I will request all the associations here to get affiliation with the Bharat Pensioner Samaj to strengthen it.
I have a point.
Several of you are already affiliated. The remaining, I will request that they should get affiliated to us so that we can take care of them also.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thanks to Sri Maheshwari ji. You have taken a lot of our pending issues. My own request is that till the government gives CGHS or insurance facilities towards healthcare, let the government give the CGHS facilities on cash basis at all the empaneled hospitals throughout India, so that it will be helpful to a lot of our pensioners. That is our concern, sir. Till that, once they give the CGHS, then it is not required. Till that time, let them give on cash basis at all the empaneled hospitals, sir.
Thank you. We'll definitely take up this issue.
Okay. So shall I request our president to conclude this one, please?
Sir, regarding
nobody would like to.
Sir, regarding income tax, regarding income tax on the encashment of leave.
Sir, this is about the leave encashment, sir. There also again discrimination amongst the pensioners of central government and state government employees, as well as vis-a-vis the pensioners of the autonomous body, pensioners of the other organizations. As you know, this cash leave encashment is taken as income in the case of other than the central government and state government employees, and though above over and above 3 lakhs, whatever they get the leave encashment, that will be added as income, and on that they are taxing, sir. So on that also, now the rubber board pensioners are all receiving the notice. So they wanted us to take up this issue, sir, with the government.
Okay, we will definitely take up.
So we will. I will also make a draft letter for you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Please, sir.
Yes, sir. And so with that, shall I ask our president to conclude? No other members are interacting with him, I think. Sir, Mr. Maheshwar, sir, Uma Maheshwar, sir.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sir, Uma Maheshwar, our president will conclude, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Good afternoon to all of you. And our profuse thanks to Sri S.C. Maheshwariji for spending his valuable time, not only patiently listening to what our friends of different organizations have reported to you, also giving your thought to the ventures that you are making at your level, and also answered lot many questions and clarified whatever that could be possible. I don't want to raise again the problems, because enough and adequately, with all that is force required, our people, our friends have reported to you. Now in your talk, you have mentioned about this bureaucrats approach. Now, many of us were bureaucrats while in service. And then we should be aware what would be preventing for a decision making at a higher level. Now you yourself have seen that a paper that is submitted to a secretary level is passed on to the UDC. Now the question should be that why it is happening? And you have in your experience and wisdom also guessed that probably we don't have the necessary weight so that it should have gone higher up from secretary to the ministry, not the reverse way. And one of the ideas that has come to you, that vote. And the vote trump card, for that also you have readily come out with an answer that the government has divided the pensioners into n number of units so that we never unite. Therefore, the dream of yours that we constitute a solid vote bank, as you have related to the American system, may not be able. So we have to, sir, we have to think of some alternative ideas, because our think tank, I can assure you, is much more superior to what the present generation is having. To have a person like Maheshwari or anybody else would take decades. Another question that has been lingering in mind, that the pension system which has been revised from 2004, and this generation of the 2003 and before, how long it would continue? Maybe another 40 years. If one has retired in 2003 and 40 years is added, so government liability will be only for 40 years. Any commitment that is made, anything that is restored, what was happening up to 6th pay commission, if it is restored for any government, whether this government or that government, the liability is only up to another 40 years. Thereafterwards, it floats up. Now, in my view, I would offer to request you to think over, because to place problems before any committee of our type, when you have told that it is getting diluted at a place where we wanted things to happen. We are not telling that things are not happening, but this kind of piecemeal way, fighting for DA, for same thing, for IR, for this, for implementation of the very pay commission itself, is so pathetic to hear. So, what I would request, the first thing is restore the pension scheme itself, which was prevailing up to 6th pay commission. That could be our first trump card, because that would nullify many of the problems which would otherwise would have arisen thereafterwards. Number two, we have a number of rules, because yourself quoted, our friends have quoted, that there is an issue, and in spite of all the rules being available.
Oh, sorry, Rodi, Katandre, Mysore, Hosura, Amadile, Allah, network Samashe,
in spite of so many rules made for us, still the government is dare enough to violate that. We don't know the reason. You will be knowing that. Therefore, one of the suggestions that I would offer is, can we think of participating in government programs? Instead of vote bank is one thing that could be contemplated upon. But in a bargain system, I have been always telling my friends that always they should not feel us. One of the things that happening, the downgrading the very appeals of ours, I feel that we are appearing to be a liability on the government. Somewhere that notion has to be changed. And that notion is not once again on the vote bank, maybe a kind of a possibility, but that is a threatening also. Instead, sir, in your wisdom, you can think that the pensioners are not written force. We can participate in the governmental work. We can also join them wherever that could be coming. So, with these ideas, I thought that we should approach to give some kind of a credibility to our organization, whether it is autonomous bodies or it is Pensioner Samaj or whatever it is. because from your mouth to hear that a letter written by an organization, an association of your order, it is getting down. This is something which makes us to think twice, so that you appeal, because even any number of letters we retire, they will put it in the dustbin. So before we write any more letters, we make any, because you have given an appeal, go use the social media. It has no, in my view, that who is there to look into that, who will bother. So kindly look into these aspects, form a small committee of a think tank of giving more creditably, more weightage to us, either by participation or by vote or something of that. We should have a Vajrayuda with us. And unless Vajrayuda is there, that we cannot make a good impact on the government to listen to our grievances. So I, on behalf of every one of our organizations, thank you. And you definitely are making it your level. We don't have any feelings that you are not taking up the issues. But in future, we would see that what we say has a say. So thank you very much, sir, for being with us. And we have really loved, enjoyed your talk. And we hope, because man lives in hope, so the associations also will live in hope, in spite of all the difficulties. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you. So we will commence our regular annual general body meeting.
Yeah.
Okay. So with the permission of the president, I will just read out the agenda which are there for today's discussion. The first is, of course, we will have to pass condolence. Then confirmation of the minutes of the AGM held on 23rd December 2020. Presentation and adoption of the annual report for the period 2021. Presentation and adoption of audited report for the period 2021. Appointment of chartered accountant for the year 21-22. Healthcare facilities, CCS pension rules 2021, and some sort of social service to be undertaken by the association, and any other subjects for discussions with the permission of the chairman. So this is the subject on today's agenda. So we will commence our subjects for discussion. The firstly is the condolence. Kindly keep your mic in mute position. Please. Okay, since we last met, we lost many of our members of our affiliates, and also many of the political leaders, trade union leaders, eminent personality, and maybe due to Corona and maybe due to other reasons during the year 2021. So let us pay our heartfelt condolences to the bereaved families of all the members of our affiliates who passed away since last annual general body meeting, and our respectful homages to all the political parties, trade union leaders, political leaders, and eminent personalities who passed away during the year 2021. Besides expressing our sadness on the death of millions of victims of COVID-19 pandemic throughout the world. So as a mark of respect to all of them, let us keep silence for a minute, then go on to the next subject on the agenda. Okay, thank you. The first subject on the agenda is the confirmation of the minutes of the AGM held on 23rd December 2020. We had circulated these minutes through email and WhatsApp to all our affiliates. And we have not received any comments or objections on that. Okay, can we take it as confirmed? So can we take it as confirmed?
You can first ask any comments.
No, that is what I have told. We have sent it about a year back. I have not received any objections or comments on that. Still, it is open. If you have got any comments, they can say. Otherwise, we can confirm.
Okay.
See, we are all. I'm sorry, we are all senior. At least when some communication comes from the federation or the association, at least that association expects some acknowledgement at least to that. I'm very sorry that I have not received anything till today from anybody, even for the agenda or the notice which we communicate to them. At least they should tell us they are attending or not. That is also not there. I'm very sorry to tell this.
Suryaprakash, please read the headings of the minutes. Headings of the minutes. Only headings. You need not read, just read the headings of the minutes.
Proceedings of the annual general body meeting of Pensioners Associations of Autonomous Bodies of Central Government held virtually on 23rd December 2020. Okay. Now this is taken as confirmed. The next is presentation and adoption of the annual report for the period 2021. This was also sent by email and also by WhatsApp to our members. So I think our members might have read, and if they agreed to adopt this annual report, we will go ahead with adoption of this annual report. Or if you want to read me, I will read it.
Not necessary, sir. You can go ahead.
Okay.
Introduce the appointment of Mr. Ars. Introduce us, Mr. Ars.
No, yes, the last meeting itself we have introduced him. The consequent to resignation of our former vice chairman, Mr. K.G. Mohanan, who was the president of Rubber Board Pensioners Association. Dr. Ars was elected as vice chairman of the federation, and of course, this is the first meeting after he was, and of course, we had our management committee meetings also. But this is the first annual general body meeting after he was elected as vice president of our federation.
So let him speak a few words, sir.
Dr. Ars is there? Sir, Dr. Rajars? At present is not there, sir. We'll ask him to speak later.
Okay.
Then before I speak, there are few members who are attending this AGM whom we have not met earlier. Can they introduce themselves from which organizations they are representing? For example, Vijay Shankar is there, Ramesh is there, and who is this? Sir, Mr. P. Shankar Reddy, sir?
He is from Central Board Pensioners Association. I will tell you, there are 11 members from Central Board Pensioners Association. They have attended. President Dr. Rajers, Vice President Dr. Chandrasekhar, myself, Secretary Central Board Pension, Treasurer K. Velu, and Mr. Shankar Reddy is there, Dr. Anil Dar is there, Mr. Swami is there, Subrata Rai from Calcutta is there. Like this, totally 11 members from Central Board Pensioners Association. They have attended today's AGM.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Anil Dar is also from Central Silk Board. Dr. Anil Dar?
Yes. Good morning.
Sir, can you introduce, sir, Dr. Anil Dar?
Yes, I'm Anil Dar. I have worked with Central Silk Board and I'm settled here in J&K.
Yes, sir. Mr. Nachiketa Khan?
Yes, sir. Yes, I'm from T-Board Pensioners Association, Assistant Secretary from T-Board Pensioners Association, Kolkata. Hello, can you hear me?
You are from
Hello.
Timur?
Yes, sir. T-board.
Okay,
Essentially, T-board Pensioners Association.
okay, thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Just we wanted to know, introduce yourself. Okay. Wanted to know who is the candidate. Mr. Chan Basavaya is from?
Yes, sir.
You are from, sir?
Sir, I have joined now.
Mr. Chanbasaya, Monsi Isaac, both are from Central Support Pensioners Association.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Okay. So the next subject is audit report.
Mr. Ars has come. Ars, as in your new office, kindly assure that your services to the federation.
Who is participating?
Dr. Ars,
Which,
speak a few words.
I didn't get you, sir.
Sir, Dr. Ars, Mr. Uma Maheshwar Rao is asking you to address in the capacity of the Vice President of our association, sir.
Correct.
Newly elected Vice President of our association.
Who?
Sir, our President is requesting you to address us in the capacity of your Vice President of our association. Newly elected Vice President of our association. Can you hear me, sir? Hello? Hello?
Sorry, Suryaprakash.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I just left the meeting for a minute and just trying to come back to.
Yes, sir.
I think, yeah.
No, sir.
You have elected me as a vice president last time. Yes.
Yes, sir. Since then, this is the first AGM.
Right.
This is our old age. So on
Right,
this
yeah.
occasion, our president wanted me to request you to address us or speak a few words.
The president has addressed, and I have nothing much to add to it. Whatever I spoke, I spoke. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
The presentation and adoption of the audited report for the period 2021, it has also been sent by email and the WhatsApp. If any clarifications are required, please ask our treasurer, we will tell you. Here, I wanted to add.
You have circulated to us. You can ask our comments.
Yes, sir, that is
Otherwise,
what
we
I'm
take it
telling,
as
sir.
read.
That is what I'm telling, sir.
Yeah, right.
And in this case, I just wanted to add one thing that you might have observed in the statement that some of our affiliates have not yet paid their subscription and the donation to the association. There is about 1,500 rupees per month, per year. And if our treasurer has got a list, he will tell the names of those affiliates. And even this year, that is 21-22, we have received only from 2 or 3 affiliates. So to run, I do not want to announce the names of those members in this AGM.
Yeah.
I will only request our treasurer to give me those names and I will send it by email and WhatsApp to them. My only request to them is to ensure that affiliate fee and the donation, that is about totally about 1,500 rupees for both the years are paid to the association, because the association has to incur some expenses at least. So that much money is required for the association. So my request to them is that today or tomorrow we are sending the names of those affiliates who have not paid the donation and also the affiliation fee. So they may kindly send it immediately.
Yeah, Mr. Suryaprakash, on behalf of you, I will also appeal to all the associations. It is a very, very small money for a federation to run, and federation has no other source other than the fee that we pay for the federation. So hence, all are requested to pay well in advance, I would say, well in advance, so that he has some money to work with.
And to add
Kindly,
this,
every association will have to requested to cooperate with the federation.
and also to add to this, I only request that they should not wait for the federation to request them every year. At least they can make it a point to make the payment at least in the month of April or May of every year.
WhatsApp group.
Okay. Thank you. So with this, I think if there is no comments, we'll take it as read and approved.
Yeah.
Then appointment of chartered accountant for the year 21-22, the same auditor, Nitin, we can continue him to be the chartered accountant. And it is for your approval.
We agree with your proposal.
Okay. Next is healthcare facilities. Of course, this is almost we have discussed in our meeting with Mr. Maheshwari. And at this juncture, the Mr. K.K. Gupta of All India Khadi Village Industries Association has sent me a subject on that particular issue, requesting the federation to take up that particular subject with the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare to see that we get pending grant of healthcare facilities. At least our pensioners are given this CGHS rate. I'll read out his request. Pensioners Association of Central Government has been doing admirable job in obtaining CGHS rate for pensioners and family pensioners of autonomous bodies of Central Government. Though the Pensioners Association has sent numerous requests to various hospitals all over the country, the response from the hospital leaves much to desire. Considering the large number of hospitals spread all over the country, it may not be possible to get affirmative decision from all CGHS approved hospitals. To make the efforts more effective, pensioners associations may consider the possibility of approaching the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare to accord the principal approval for extension of CGHS rates to all the pensioners of autonomous bodies of central government which do not have any medical facilities post their retirement. In all such cases, the payment shall be made by the beneficiary and will not create any financial liability to the Government of India. For all such cases, based on ID cards issued by the Autonomous Bodies Pensioners Association, CGHS approved hospitals may provide CGHS rates on cash payment basis. Such a decision would obviate the need for dealing the issues on individual basis. So, this is a subject which has been given by Mr. Gupta, and I would like to add here that we have already taken up this issue with the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare through Bharat Pensioner Samaj and through the Coordination Committee of Central Government Pensioners Association. And of course, we are extending the CGHS facilities to the autonomous bodies. Even our Central Minister, Mr. Prahalad Joshi, had addressed a letter to the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. And of course, the concerned Minister of Health and Family Welfare has replied, given a letter to the Prahalad Joshi, saying that he had the matter examined. If you would like to inform the central government health scheme, is a contributory health scheme primarily meant for central government employees and pensioners. Although CGHS facilities have been extended to some autonomous but statutory bodies in the past, however, the same are now no longer being extended to any new group of persons or organizations as a matter of policy, as the resources under CGHS are fully committed. This is an absurd answer because when they have extended to other autonomous bodies, already they do not want to extend it to autonomous bodies which have not been extended because it is their mistake. They should have extended to everybody. And when they are in a position to give the resources to the organizations which are already under CGHS and also to the autonomous bodies, I don't know why they cannot extend the same resources to the other autonomous bodies also. As of now, CGHS facilities is provided on a cost-to-cost basis to pensioners of such autonomous but statutory bodies whose serving employees are already covered under this scheme. I would like to further inform you that as per the memorandum of agreement signed between the healthcare organization and CGHS, all empaneled HCOs shall agree to empanelment with any autonomous body public undertaking on same terms and conditions as with CGHS on recommendations of the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. See, now we do not have any facilities for present. Of course, there are few pensioners who are capable of spending money from their own resources when they are hospitalized. But there are few more pensioners of our autonomous bodies who are not in a position to get the medical facilities from out of their own savings, which they have done when they were in service. There are many pensioners are there. At least for them, this CGHS facilities if they provide on payment of cash, it will be more beneficial to them because to a larger extent, their financial burden is going to be reduced. Of course, it is only a stopgap arrangement. We will have to fight for our own healthcare facilities, and that is on a cashless basis. So pending this arrangement, pending grant of any healthcare facilities to us on a regular basis, on a cashless basis, let us continue to pursue with the government to get the healthcare facilities on cashless basis. And pending their taking any decision on that matter, at least let them address all the empaneled office hospitals throughout India, because our pensioners are staying not only in Bangalore, but they are staying throughout India. Throughout India, there are many more pensioners who are not who cannot afford this medical costs that are involved when they are hospitalized. So at least for them, we should have the healthcare facilities at CGHS rates on payment of cash. So for this, we will continue to address the government through all the sources available to us, either the coordination committee or the DPS. And then we will also make a request from the federation, and we will try to put pressure on the government to whatever is possible way. And first to try to get the healthcare facilities on cashless basis, and pending getting that, let us at least try to get this benefit at CGHS rates on payment of cash. And of course, we have already decided that parallelly, let us approach the court to seek directions to the government to provide us healthcare facilities on par with central government pensioners. This is as far as healthcare facilities is concerned. And even as Mr. Maheshwariji was telling, there is an health insurance scheme which is pending with the government for the last 2 years. And there also we had requested the government through our federation, through the Bharat Pensioner Samaj and CC Coordination Committee, to include the autonomous body pensioners also under the health insurance scheme. So this is what is there. And if any others want to talk on this, they are welcome. They want to give their views.
Sir, Suryaprakash, I told you the meeting also, all the spice board, coffee board, tea board and rubber board, other boards can ask their organization to include medical facilities for pensioners in the new act. It is under a draft bill. So already the KVAC has done the same thing. So we all press our organizations to include medical facilities for pensioners in their act. So it will be very easy. This is my suggestion.
Okay, then any others? Okay, if there is no suggestions, further suggestions will go ahead. And of course, as Dr. Ars was telling, we'll also impress upon our organizations as to include, to provide healthcare facilities as has been done by the NGT. That also alternately we can try. All our associations can try on that also. So I will go to
the second part of my agenda, part of my paper is creating a website with all the orders.
That I will come, sir. That I will come.
Okay.
Before,
So
is the healthcare, is it over?
No, sir. Please speak, sir.
Yeah. About the healthcare, we said we will have to approach the court, and we would have met the advocates by now. We were unable to do it because of the pandemic. Maybe the pandemic is coming down very soon. We may have to go and meet. And even initial expenditure we don't have with the federation. You know, in the last several meetings, we have decided each association will contribute 10,000 rupees initially to the federation. I think I request on behalf of the federation, all the associations to contribute 10,000 rupees. This amount will be required as and when we meet the advocates, we may have to pay some consultation fee, etc. Yeah, I request all the associations to cooperate and remit that money 10,000 very soon. Yeah, Suryaprakash.
Suryaprakash, one suggestion. Last time we asked to see change the bank. The amount sent from Central Silk Board Pension Association to Federation, it has come back. There is some problem with the existing bank. So kindly look into it, and then the account can be shifted to either State Bank of India or other nationalized bank.
Okay, sir, we'll take action on that.
Arjungo. Half of it, 26. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕಾಲು ಗಂಟೆ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು.
So we'll go to the next subject. CCS pension rules 2021.
ನಾನು ಈಗಲೇ ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದಾ?
So we were
ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರೂಮಲ್ಲಿ ಚಾರ್ಜರ್ ಐತೆ ಆ ಕಡೆ ಚಾರ್ಜರ್
ಚಾರ್ಜರ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡೆ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದಾ?
ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು. ನಾನು ಚಾರ್ಜರ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು
So all of you know that
we
we were following all our organizations were getting pension and other benefits, pensioners, in terms of CCS pension rules 1972.
ಈಗ ನಾವು ಮಾತಾಡೋದು ಕೇಳಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ವಾ?
So kindly please, if you want to speak to your family members, please put your mic in mute position and then speak. The CCS pension rules 2021 on 20th December 2021, the government has repealed CCS pension rules 1972 and has introduced CCS pension rules 2021. The salient features of this particular scheme has already been circulated to all our affiliates by WhatsApp and also by email. And if you all have got time to look into that again, I can go through it by sharing the screen if it is required. Otherwise, I'll go to the next subject.
Not necessary. Please go to the next subject.
Yes.
Highlights you can mention, sir.
No, highlights only. Just I can go through it fast. If it is required. Otherwise, you can read. Actually, it has been sent by WhatsApp and the email.
Sir, please highlights may be spoken, sir.
Highlights only can be read.
The highlights only are there on the PPT. See, I've shared it now.
You can brief it, sir.
The briefing is also equally the same thing, you know. That is okay. Otherwise, you can as well read it, you know. There is not a problem at all.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
See, it is there. Decision to review. Department has decided to review and rationalize the CCS pension rules. Okay, that is one. The second slide, you can see, revised rules do not envisage any change in the amount of pension, family pension, or gratuity on retirement, etc. Revised rules incorporate various executive instructions, clarifications issued from time to time and give them a statutory status. This includes recent policy or procedural reforms made through memorandum. Some policy procedural changes have also been based on a given on issues referred by the ministries. Salient features. Policy change. Increment earned during leave, though not actually drawn, will count emoluments for pension, family pension, gratuity, irrespective of duration and kind of leave. Benefit of retrospective notional increase in pay after retirement on account of court orders, etc. A time limit of 3 months has been fixed for deciding on the question of grant of compassionate allowance on imposition of penalty of dismissal by removal. Decision on compassionate on past cases of dismissal by removal will be taken within 6 months. The provision of voluntary retirement of 30 years of qualifying service has been omitted, being redundant. Request for withdrawal of notice for voluntary retirement will have to be made at least 15 days before intended date of retirement to give sufficient time to the competent authority. Provision has been made for payment of interest and fixing responsibility in case of delayed payment of pension or pension gratuity. A government servant deputed to union bodies will have an option to pay or not to pay pension contributions. Then say policy, children or siblings suffering from a disability will be considered as dependent on the government servant pensioner and shall be eligible for pension if their income is less than the entitled family pension plus dearness relief. Documents required for determining eligibility based on income criteria have been specified in the rules. A divorced daughter, in whose case a decree of divorce was issued after the death of her parents, will be eligible for family pension if the petition was filed before the death of parents. In case where a government servant dies during the currency of the pension, which has the effect of reducing his pay only during the currency of penalty, family pension will be calculated based on the notional pay, ignoring the effect of such penalty. If a person eligible to receive family pension is charged with offense of murdering government servant or pensioner, family pensioner shall be paid to that person till the conclusion of the criminal proceedings, but will be paid to other eligible member of the family. On death of government servant during the service, the family members will not be required to pay any outstanding license fee and also license fee for the period of next 3 months in respect of government accommodation. It will be mandatory to process pension cases through Bhavishya online pension sanctioning and tracking system. Issue of certificate of verification of qualifying service after completing 18 years service and 5 years before superannuation shall be monitored at the level of Secretary of the Administration. Timeline for processing of pension for family pension cases by the HODs and POs have been streamlined and rationalized to ensure expeditious issue of PPO on retirement or death of a government servant. The role of CPO and pension disbursing authority banks for pensions action payment process have been indicated in the rule and the timelines for them have been provided. In a government servant is not able to fill up the forms due to the infirmity or the government servant dies after the retirement, but for filing pension papers, spouse or family members of the family will be allowed to submit pension papers. Provisional family pension will be sanctioned immediately on submission of claim for family pension along with death certificate. Detailed provisions have been included in the rules for sanctioning payment of family pensions and other benefits to the family for a government servant or pensioner. The forums and formats for submission of claims and for processing family pension and family cases have been streamlined and rationalized, making them more compatible with the rules. With the notification of the new rules, the CCS pension rules will stand repealed. So this is what the salient features of this scheme. This is mostly related to the family pension.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
The next is the social services to be undertaken by the association. See, even in the last meeting, our president had suggested that our association has to involve ourselves in this some sort of social service so that the presence of our association can be made in the public and we can be so that was the reason for which the subject was suggested, and one of the projects he had suggested was giving training to the women, especially in tailoring. So for that we had given this some expenditure also around recurring expenditure of 1 lakh every year, and we had sought the opinion of our other affiliates also, and again we are reiterating so that we can do some sort of social service so that we can have our presence in the public. So on this subject, I request our president also once again speak on this subject, and other affiliates who are present today, they can also give their opinion so that we can proceed further.
We have identified Harohalli in Kanakpura district. We have also identified the instructor. The village women are ready, and it is a 6 months course for each batch, and the budgeted amount is for the time being enough. Still, I suggest that you all should extend your support so that we can have, that is one of the means of participating in social programs of the government. That's what I told Maheshwari also. So it can be a small outlet for us to show our, otherwise presence in the society. So if the go ahead is given, Now that pandemic was going on, therefore we have not given a green signal. So if after this AGM, if any doubts are there, after clarification, we will go ahead. So roughly, if 1 lakh is the estimated budget for an year, so approximately that is the amount that is coming to, you can divide it by 12, that will be our monthly, budget amount. It may be less, but it will not be more. Yes, you can. So it is open for your suggestions, please, or your views on this matter, so that we can go to the next subject.
Sir, I am speaking from Keyboard Pension Association regarding the Act amendment, repealing of the Act, Copy Act. Is there any action regarding the matter?
Yes, sir, who is speaking? Hello?
Regarding Act, the Act, Copy Act is being repealed. Are going to be repealed. A new act is will be formulated, and bill for this purpose. Bill has been, draft bill has been came to public notice. Is there any action regarding the matter?
Sir, this draft bill, individual draft bill of the respective organizations have been posted on their website, even on the website of the Ministry of Commerce. So first day I had given the time up to, I think, 7th of January, and then they extended it. Now they have extended up to 7th March. So the date has been extended now up to 7th March, and allowing the stakeholders to give their views. So as far as Coffee Board Pensioners Associations are concerned, we have already given our views, and we also suggested few provisions to be included in the draft bill, and a copy of that, our feedback and views, have been forwarded to the Spices Board Pensioners Association, Rubber Board Pensioners Association, Tea Board Pensioners Association, and MPDA, and who are all coming under the Ministry of Commerce. Because only those organizations' bills have been, now they wanted to repeal the acts which they had framed about few years back, and they want to introduce the new act. So for that, Coffee Board Pensioners have given the views that has already been forwarded to all our other associations, which comes under the Ministry of Commerce. Even the, I think, Tea Board Pensioners Association has also given their views. Like that, all the associations which are now involved can give their suggestions, and then at the appropriate time, the federation also will step in, and also we can take the support of other apex body associations also.
Yes, thank you.
Suryaprakash, I was told there will be a parliamentary committee visiting all the boards to review the suggestions. So we can present that time also.
It is not parliamentary board, I understand. It is some
study committee,
some labor committee or something like that. So when we don't know whether they will, we can make a request if it is pertinent to us actually.
last month they have proposed, now they have been postponed.
On this particular subject about this, the suggestions of that social services to be undertaken by the association, kindly give your views. Otherwise, if you want to take again the views of your executive committee, we can give you another 15 days or 20 days time, and please come back to us, because this subject is pending since a long, since at least another last 1 or 2 years. Please give your views. If you want, you can consult your executive committee and then come back to us within 15 days time, please. No, Mr. Suryaprakash.
Yes, sir. You see, now you told about 16 units are there. Isn't it? 16 affiliates are there.
Yes, yes.
For a 1 lakh amount, it is the annual contribution by each unit will be 6,000. So that you spread it into the contribution of 1,500 plus that 6,000 rupees also you spread over 12 months.
and then it could be collected as raised, what is called that substitution for them, which includes this. Second thing is, now on an experimental basis, we are launching this as the federation's outreaching project. So it will be named like that only. It is not Bangalore, it is not Calcutta, it is not Bombay. It is run in that. So any function, any program is there that will be represented as the federation. That is the reason why there is a request for larger participation. Otherwise, individually, the idea is at each level, please go ahead with some kind of a project of this order, and so that your association members can be appearing in the social level also. So that is the main principle. But on an experimental basis, collectively, we are sharing, we are running one project under the banner of this one. So now, because we have enough discussed this one, and then last time also they have not raised objections. It is a small amount per unit, 6,000 per annum. I think that should be all right, and then we should go ahead. So any thinking is there, then only suggestions. Otherwise, again, it can be never launched. So we still go ahead. So kindly, how much it comes to now? Instead of 1,500, the contribution would go to 2,000. That's all. So request them to send 2,000 rupees, which includes this contribution also. 500 is 6,000.
Yeah.
No, sir, this 500 rupees is per month. It will be 500 rupees. So for 12 months,
per month, it is a 500 rupees. Now already Mr. Ars told 1,500 is the contribution. Now it will be raised to 500 more, which would take care of this project also.
No. 1,500 rupees is per year, and this 500 rupees additional what they are paying is per month. Then only it becomes 6,000 rupees.
Yeah.
So this has to be agreed by all the associations. Okay, that's all. Then we can go ahead.
No, if they pay 6,000 rupees at one go, that will
Then
be
okay.
nice.
Then there is no need for them to pay every month 500.
Yes, that
No,
will
if
be
it is
nice
not
for-
possible, they can pay 500 rupees per month. That is what he suggests. Okay.
This is Maunam is Angikar Suchanam. Why again you take it, go ahead, and then let us see. It can be met also, no problem.
Yes. Yes, we can take up this. We can launch this and we can take up this. This is a very good idea that we have to do it.
We will help rural women to self-employ themselves if they are earning on behalf of us. No problem. Money comes, sir.
Okay, now we'll have to invite everybody to speak because nobody is speaking. Dr. Ars, sir, I will go from that.
No issue.
No issue, sir. This is accepted actually.
No. See, as far as Kendriya Vidyalaya, you are speaking. Others are keeping silent. So, as an association, collectively it has to be done. So, I will now go each one and then I'll ask them. So, Ars says no problem. So, Dr. Venkatramanan.
It is just a beginning. Many institutions also may like to do some such social organization. All that we will see later. Yeah.
Veeraya is okay.
We had agreed.
Suryaprakash, sir.
ಈ
ಹಾರೋಹಳ್ಳಿ ಏನು ಸರ್ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್
ಅದೇಪ್ಪ ಈಗ ಅದನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದಾರೆ ರೂರಲ್ ವುಮೆನ್ಗೆ ಟೈಲರಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡೋ ಫೆಸಿಲಿಟೀಸ್.
Discussed at length in
the last meeting itself we have discussed.
Okay, sir.
Now that when the expenses come, how much it would be in that. To start with 500 rupees per month, that comes to 6,000 rupees. It can be given one lump sum, or they can even give it in 1 or 2 installments also.
I got your point, sir. Thank you.
So,
how many beneficiaries, Dr. Suryaprakash?
Hello?
How many beneficiaries?
Sir, Dr. Uma Meshwara, please.
What is the question, sir?
How many beneficiaries will be there, Anta, sir?
There will be a minimum 50 in each session.
Then who is providing the missionaries and all those things?
We are
that's only.
within that itself, missions we have got some donors to give.
Budget can be circulated, Mr. Suryaprakash. Last time it was budgeted, and the same budget can be circulated so that the individual members also they place in the respective meeting, their executive committee meeting, and get it clear.
Okay, that is what, sir, I'm telling you. So that in
Budget,
principle, we have agreed to go, but let them take their consent from their executive committee and come back in 15 days or a month, sir.
All right.
Latest 1 month.
Yes. The detailed budget and the number of beneficiary covered, etc., etc. A brief note can be circulated to all the associations.
Oh, yes, sir. Oh, that will be done, sir. Yes.
Yes.
Then
Okay.
after training, post-training also you have to follow. Otherwise, after taking the training, if they keep quiet, then what will be the benefit? In most of the projects like this, they attend the training program, and after training program, they don't do anything.
Sir, Dr. Chandrasekhar sir, I want to answer Dr. Chandrasekhar sir. Post training is we should not think too much about it, sir.
Why?
We have already helped them. We will lift them up to some point. We will leave them to progress. We should not anticipate much results. Let them go ahead, sir. They are already trained. Let us end it. Let us go to a new venture. What is my request and suggestion, please?
Sir, it is Dr. Chandrasekharaya, it is a skill given, and those who are in need of a kind of a self-helping skill only will attend that. Otherwise they don't waste their time. If,
it is only self-starting type.
So they should use for their families, that's all. It is a jacket, it is a blouse. So it will be keeping them earning. So no, probably 90% of them, as we have seen with our Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan experimentation, 90% of them, they support the family in one or the other way as far as this is concerned. So that monitoring for us, it is very difficult and not necessary also.
Not necessary, sir. Not necessary, sir.
If there are any
it will be a great achievement if we do it, start up, that's all.
But for our statistics, as Chandrasekharaya says, we take a statistics, how many of them are using this skill given. Definitely, it is a requirement, and we can keep a record of the things. As we maintain in schools, alumni, how are they, employed differently. So we can also make a record of the people. You can also design a different way.
You can expect feedback. That's all.
See, in any other NGO, sir, as I have seen, for example, when they are supporting the students for their pursuing their further education, those NGOs will definitely tell those students, so kindly give your progress in each and every examination. And after you complete your degree or the professional courses, please support another student like you. All these things we will go on telling them. But out of 100 students whom you support, only 10% of them will come back and give it to the society, and others will not bother.
That is more than sufficient, sir.
That is what this is the present society. Our present society is.
See, there may be many volunteers.
We will do whatever we can do best and leave it to them.
Mr. Suryaprakash, there may be any volunteers to bear the expenses of the machines. They can be donated to the poor people who have attended the meeting, who have attended the training course.
No, that is left to the volunteers.
Yeah, that's all a later thing, sir. It's an addition. Go on adding.
Then we cannot also go and see whether they are replacing the
this
machine
stage,
properly.
we will stop at training level and we'll see how this will be benefit them.
Hello, Mr. Suryaprakash, can you hear me?
Yes,
Mr. Suryaprakash.
I'm hearing you, sir.
Yeah, I am Jacob. Yeah, I am Jacob Daniel. I think we have to be little more elaborate in this thing, because our objective should be very clear. Ward 4. What is the criteria of the beneficiary? Then our objective, as I said, it should be very, very clear. And then the details of the program, kindly send it to us, how we are going to select it, how we are going to monitor the scheme, and also where the place of the operation should be there, and whether this 6,000 rupees or something you said, is it recurring or one time this thing, so that we will get the full picture. And if it is a social service, I have a suggestion. Why can't you take it and give it this introduce scheme for the medical field? There are a lot of people who are suffering because of financial condition for their medical treatment and other things. Because most of the state government, they are having their own scheme for job employment and other thing. Even Kerala, the Kudumbashri, it is operated by the ladies. It is doing extremely very well. So like that, because there are a lot of people who are suffering because of disease and other things. Why can't we think that way also? It's only suggestion, but kindly send the full details so that we can discuss in our MC.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Sir, like this, there are any number of programs, but this suggestion came 2 years back. I think we did discuss all the details threadbare, and then finally agreed that we will contribute. Okay, it will be reduced in rating and it can be circulated to all. We will make a beginning.
Yeah.
Okay, we will circulate, sir, as suggested once again.
Make a beginning. Right.
The another subject which has been sent by Mr. K.K. Gupta, our affiliate, Khadi Village Industries Commission. Yes, I will read out that the Pensioners Associations of Autonomous Body has been issuing individual acceptance letters from hospitals for agreeing to extend CGHS rates to pensioners or family pensioners of autonomous bodies on payment of cash. The hospitals, when approached in person, seek copies of the confirmatory communication. It becomes difficult to produce the letter copies which are issued for and in between. So, Pensioners Association of Autonomous Body may consider placing all such information as well as other important issues on its website for ease of access by the desired pensioners or family pensioners. In case Pensioners Autonomous Body desires funding for outsourcing services of suitable agency, the cost could be shared by all the member organizations of Autonomous Bodies, Bangalore. So this is a suggestion given by Mr. K.K. Gupta, the chairman of Khadi Village Industries Commission. He has sent it to me day before yesterday by WhatsApp. So this is for your consideration and discussion.
The only thing is you have been circulating all the information. Not a single piece of information is hidden anywhere in the federation. We have been circulating it. But what is suggested is if we can have a website, then it can be posted in the website. So we can plan for a website for the federation. Then we'll think of.
Yes, for that the cost has to be worked out. How much there for initial building of that website, and then afterwards the maintenance, etc. We'll have to get a cost worked out and then come back to
anywhere between 16 to 20,000 it will cost.
Sir, it will be a good suggestion. So we will consult somebody. What is the cost of at least first preparing a website? Then maintenance is a recurring expenditure. Every year it will be there. Then let us see.
Of course, in addition to that, we can add whatever the relevant orders pertaining to us.
Orders, informations, lot of things can be there. So burden of Suryaprakash also will come down to some extent. Yeah. Otherwise, everybody keep on asking questions. Circulars to Suryaprakash.
No, this is a good suggestion. We can work out the cost and then come back to you and see whether it can be borne by our federation with the limited resources what we are getting. Or if all the members are agreeable to share the cost of the website, then it is well and good, we can go ahead. First of all, we will work out the cost.
On the side, we agree to it.
So in principle, we may agree and we'll come back with the cost involved and then we will take a decision.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, we'll close, sir. I think.
Yes, sir. It is already 1:30. So
yeah.
This is a long meeting, I think. So With the permission of the President, I am going to close this meeting. I once again thank all our members for having affiliates and their members for having attended this meeting. And it was a good meeting, and it is a good interactive meeting with not only with Maheshwari and others also. Your suggestions are also very good and welcome. And we will come back to you in the next meeting. In the next management committee meeting time, we will come with the cost involved for maintaining the website, building up the website. So we'll take a decision on that. This is a good suggestion actually. And so I thank all of you again for attending this meeting.
Nanjeshwaran has something to say. You have to say something, Nanjeshwaran?
It is possible we can request our organizations to post the approved medical facilities in the pensioners' websites, coffee board, spice board, rubber board, everywhere. In between, before setting up a website.
What? There is nothing, no medical facilities are available to any of us. What is that for them to post it?
Whatever approvals we got it for CGHS facilities through the federation, that letters, we can try to post it through our organization, pensioners website.
No, unless your organization has got a website.
No, it's an official website.
We are having a pensioners separate website.
See, many of our autonomous bodies even do not mark a copy of the office orders issued by them. For them, we will have to go and beg. We will have to get it through that. We will make a request to them. Okay. See, our own colleagues, they do not bother when we go there. That is the type of. They have forgotten that they will become the pensioners after a few years.
Yeah.
Let us hope for good for everything. Okay. Let us have optimistic. That is the situation in the, I think after a few years, when all our pensioners, employees who are working and who come under the pension scheme retire, then a person with NPS will come and sit there, still work.
Correct.
So let us hope for better thing.
No, Mr. Suryaprakash, you end with a positive note.
I am ending with a positive note only.
So I can submit that.
Thank you very much, sir.
In spite of all that said and done, we have to make our own identity felt. There is no harm in taking the help of any Samaj, any association, but we are going to be treated and we have common issues. Enroll as many other organizations. Only 16 have come. So by a word of mouth, by writing to your friends, kindly influence other units also to join this. And then once strength is increased, we can always make something different from what otherwise you have seen Maheshwari telling. The letters are not being honored, thrown into the dustbin. It should not happen, in my view. So that we can make a difference and see that the letter goes up and up. Second important thing I want to kindly think of whether in your executive committees, whether we can create a relief fund to help people not only in that medical but other ways also. So something like that, interested parties can donate to that relief fund, and we can create something which committee could decide about the criteria for helping, and so that also can be done. So these three things, we will thank you very much for being with us for as long as 11, 12, 2.5 hours. Not a small joke. So you have done well. So over to.
Before closing this meeting with a note that unless a child cries, nothing we will get it. So that is one thing. And we know that even if we write letters, the government may not bother. But sometimes they have bothered. Sometimes they have agreed with that. So we will have to go on writing letters, put pressure on them by writing ourselves through us, taking some assistance from other apex bodies. If we don't do it, nothing will happen. Let us go on forcing, putting papers, whether they see or not, that is different, but we will have to go on putting the pressures on them. That is our experience. Unless we try, we won't get it. Unless we cry, we won't get it. This is the situation. Therefore, with that note, we will close this meeting. Thank you once again to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.